So there have been a handful of PS4 games that have pretty much disappeared over the years, and today that's what I want to talk about. Here are some games that I believe just might be skipping PS4 and launching on the PlayStation 5 sometime within the next couple years. So let's jump on in. Do you remember when Square Enix announced their Avengers game being developed by Crystal Dynamics? You probably don't remember because it was so long ago and they haven't talked about the game at all since then. I really trust Crystal Dynamics because they gave us the recent Tomb Raider reboot and its sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I absolutely loved those games and I can't wait to see what they do with the Marvel Universe. It just seems like Square Enix has a really bad problem of announcing games way too early. As you probably know, Final Fantasy 15 originally started as a different game with a different title and it was announced like 10 years prior to when the game actually came out. And then of course Kingdom Hearts 3, which also got announced way back, I can't even remember at this point, and we just now got the game in 2019. It seems like the Avengers might just be another situation like that, which makes me really sad, but at least Crystal Dynamics is a trusted developer. They've made some fantastic games. The one thing that worries me about them making the game is I haven't really seen them make a game that has a huge cast of characters with a bunch of different fighting styles, a bunch of different action sequences, the characters that play totally different. It kind of makes sense why this game would be taking so long, but I'm just wondering why they haven't talked about it. More publishers just need to be transparent. They need to just update the fans. Yes, this game still exists. They're still working on it. But the fact that we haven't seen it yet and that the PS5 is probably coming out sometime within the next couple years, I think this game just might end up skipping PS4 or maybe launching across generation. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's only a PlayStation 5 game. But you know, that's how it works. Games start development and you never really know how they're going to go early on. And Square Enix has a problem of announcing games way too early, which of course I'm going to talk about them later in the video because they did the same thing with another game. But next up, I want to talk about Wild. You might not remember this game because it was announced way back in 2014. That is around the time the PlayStation 4 launched. That is just bonkers crazy that we haven't seen this game. The game does randomly generated areas and you're able to play as a bunch of different wildlife, and it actually looked really cool and really ambitious. Unfortunately, once again, they haven't really been transparent about what's going on with the game. Is it in development hell? Is development coming along just fine? We don't know because they won't tell us. I believe the last update on Wild was about 2 years ago and we haven't seen any new stuff from the game in a long time. Back when we saw the game, it looked like it still needed to be polished quite a bit. In other words, it didn't really look like a current generation game. But the fact that we haven't seen it in so long now makes me hope that they just completely overhauled the graphics, made it look a lot better, and hell, maybe it's a PlayStation 5 game, maybe a launch PS5 game. You never know. Now, Square Enix, my god, the masters of announcing games way too early. Where is the Final Fantasy VII Remake? This game got announced way back in like 2015 or 16 at E3, and we haven't heard barely anything about it ever since. They did give us a few updates saying that they were maybe going to split it into like episodic adventures. Like, what? They're going to go the Telltale route with Final Fantasy VII, a story that we all already know, and we know that can all fit on one game. It really doesn't make sense to split it all up into multiple games, unless they want to make some more money, which that would make sense, but it's really surprising. What really caught everyone off guard was when they announced the game, it had gameplay, so that made everybody think, wow, this game's further along than we think. But no, it wasn't. It's still years out. Like, we haven't heard anything about this game, and they pretty much restarted development, I believe. There's a whole new developer now, and in the beginning, I believe they had like the developers of like the One Piece games, like the anime, the people who made those games, making the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, why wouldn't they have their best guys on this project? Why would they have a completely different random developer doing it? Final Fantasy VII is a big deal, so I'm surprised that they would do that initially. But now I believe it's being developed in-house, so hopefully we can see or hear something about it in the near future. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a PS5 game that's still like 4 or 5 years out, honestly. We've seen what they've done with Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, so I mean, it's just the way of the business, apparently. So yeah, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you looking forward to any of these games, and when do you think they're going to come out? Because I have a feeling we're going to get probably Wild around the PS5 launch, the Avengers game, I'm hoping like before the PS5. I'm just hoping they announce it sometime soon, but if not, it might come out like a year after the PS5 launches. And then with this Final Fantasy VII Remake, honestly, 5 years away. I'm just gonna say it, 5 years away. Sounds pretty crazy, but yeah. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will talk to you later.